Happy Friday, Boss Up family. I am so excited that you are joining us on a Friday evening. Listen, it's a new year, it's a new season, and I believe it's going to be our best season. This is the Hope TV. We are the House of Hope Atlanta. Our pastor is Dr. E. Dewey Smith, and we believe that life with God is better in every way, every day. You know how we do it. I need you guys to share this video on all of your social media platforms so that your friends, your colleagues, and everybody connected to you can experience the wonderful conversation that we have on the Boss Up Show. This year, we want to do something a little bit different. I want to bring two familiar faces to co-host with me. Some sisters who can help augment and inform our conversation. And so I want to start out with our first co-host, who is Crystal Jakes. She is no stranger to Boss Up. She came and shut it down last year, and we're excited that she's going to join us as a co-host. She's a native of Inglewood, California, and after making the decision to leave corporate America, she joined her husband in entrepreneurship and became listen to this, the chief operating officer of their companies, which included several restaurant franchises. I can go on and on, but I'm going to let her tell you about her experiences and her businesses. Will you say hello to everybody, Crystal Jakes?
I'm glad to be back. Hey.
You're welcome. Your wealth of experience, I know, is going to really, really be a blessing to our Boss Up audience. Our second co-host is also no stranger. You guys don't know this, but Lakeisha is my boss on Hope TV. She's the one who produces this show, who keeps us all in line. And I'm excited that she's going to be co-hosting with me. She's a native of Atlanta, Georgia. She is a self-proclaimed last Georgia peach left. She's saying that there are only a few left, and she is one of them. She attended the Georgia Film Academy and was certified in production management. And she's now building her own company. I want y'all to hear this. She's building her own. God bless the child that's got her own. She's building her own company, Artistic Genius Productions. Lakeisha, will you say hello to our Boss Up family?
Hi, Boss Up family. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so excited about this season and what we have coming up.
Me too. As I shared a few moments ago, we're introducing something different this season. We're going to have both Crystal and Lakeisha co-hosting with me to enrich our conversation. So I want to start with you, Crystal. Let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit about you.
We want to get to know you. Well, like you stated, originally from Inglewood, California, I attended Grambling State University in Louisiana. And upon graduating, I moved here to Atlanta, which I went directly into corporate America. I was a business analyst and project manager. Well, during that time, I got married, and my husband was already an entrepreneur. And when I decided to make the decision to leave corporate America, I came into the family business because he was like, you are spending your time and talents for other people when we have our own business ourselves, that same time and talent can be put towards that and making money for our family. And that's what I decided to do. So from there, I joined the team as the COO, Chief Operating Officer of our franchises. We've been in business for 25 years, and we started off at McDonald's franchisees. We left there. We were subsequently Denny's franchisees, Jersey Mike's. We introduced a concept called Cowboy Chicken here to Georgia, to the state, actually, here to Atlanta, Georgia. So we've just kind of had our hands in a few different things over the years, but during that time, we have been able to say that we have employed over 32,000 people during that time. So it's been very fulfilling and very interesting, to say the least.
So, Lakeisha, both of our faces changed when she said Cowboy Chicken, because Boss Up family, if you have not been to Cowboy Chicken, you don't need to go to heaven. In the words of Dr. Smith, you don't need to go to heaven before you experience Cowboy Chicken. I've had a veggie plate there because we're in the fast. I had a veggie plate there, and it changed my whole life. Y'all, it made my edges grow back. I'm just kidding. Lakeisha, if you can, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, as you stated, I am a Georgia native, born and raised here in Atlanta. I'm a single mother of 3, and I've been in the corporate America basically all of my adult life. While in corporate America, I've always been a writer, producer, director, all of these things on the side. And I was always motivated to, do it on my own, do it full time and all of these type of things. But out of fear, which I know I should have faith over fear, but out of fear, I never stepped out there to actually do so. So once I was forced out of corporate America due to downsizing and budget cuts, I was just like, here's my chance. So I went ahead and went to school and started my own production company. And now I do producing, writing, directing for myself. And, I make money at it, and it's great. Also, with my Artistic Genius production company, we also do productions as an event. So we can turn your birthday into a production. We can turn your anniversary into a production, or whatever else, you have going on. Let Artistic Genius Productions do it for you.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
So, Pastor Connor, I know that we all are business women and we're all out here doing our things, and you are definitely a lady boss. So our audience knows that you are a preacher. Please tell us, what do you do outside of preaching? Because I'm still trying to get my hand on your book.
Oh my gosh. So I'm an author. I'm a thought leader. I'm a scholar. And more than all of that, more important than all of that, I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I believe that what you do is not half as important as who you are. And so for me, last year, I think it was, oh goodness. Oh, it's 2 years ago. Because 2020, we skip over that one. We skip over 2020. 2019, I really stepped out on faith and wrote my first book, 31 Days of Winning. And when I tell you guys, just like you were talking, Lakeisha, I was afraid, but God really blessed my book. It's allowed me to stand on so many platforms to just share this whole message that you can win regardless of where you come from, how much money is in your bank account, how many degrees you have. Everybody has it within them to win. It's all about getting into God's position for you right now, God's blessed place for you, wherever that is. Getting in position, God will allow you to win under any situation or circumstance. So, author, I think I shared scholar. I'm a PhD student at Christian Theological Seminary.
All right,
come on, for my little seminary. I'm studying Black preaching and sacred rhetoric, and my project centers on ethnomusicology. So I spend a lot of time reading. That's what I'm doing right now, reading. All right. And then as far as my family, I am the auntie that plays football, that plays kickball. I get out there with my niece and my nephews. They think I'm young, y'all. Crystal, I don't know why they think I'm young. I am not young.
Because you are. You are.
So that's a little bit of what I do. I think that's a quick summary of everything that I do. I do have a Winning Woman brand that we're building out just to empower people, empower women, but also we want to empower teams. I have a consulting arm that helps churches and nonprofit organizations empower their teams. So that's just a little bit. That's just a little bit of what I do.
Just the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to start with you, Keisha.
Yes,
you have an interest in this whole idea of being a lady boss. We talk about that quite frequently, and we face a lot of challenges being a woman and also being a boss, and being sometimes in industries where we are the minority. So I want to start with you, Crystal. How do you deal with some of the genderized politics that we face in being lady bosses?
It always comes down to, you have to show and prove, because we are always, as women, and it's getting better year by year, but we're always underestimated, even though time has proven that we always the ones that come to the rescue for everything. When there's questions that need to be answered, the woman has the answer. If you need solutions, the woman got the solutions. We don't often get the credit we deserve, but It's a fact. And like I said, I believe that it's changing, especially with the climate and women being in places that they have not been before, because we should have been there. And it's finally looking like people are recognizing the power of the woman. And so
Absolutely.
we just got to continue to do what we've always done. Show up and show out.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Look,
I totally agree. It's like in business, in life, in ministry, anywhere you go, the woman is typically underestimated. She's not looked at or taken seriously when you go into a situation. You know, you have to, like Crystal said, you have to show and prove every single time. And if you go back to the beginning of time, you see, well, it was the woman making it happen. The man may go out and get the meat, but what happens when it come home? The woman have to cook it, clean it, distribute it, make sure it's enough for everybody. We have to multiply it. We've always been the makers, the creators, the solutions. Like you say, we always have the solutions, the answers. So for us to go into business and into different situations and people not take us seriously, it's almost like a slap in the face. But for me personally, I'm from that old school, I can show you better than I can tell you. So whenever I'm underestimated, I love proving people wrong. And every obstacle that come my way, I love jumping over it and being like, now what you got? Oh, that was your best?
Yes.
That's not enough. You're not stopping me.
So, Pastor Corner, I want to know, like, women in ministry has gotten more popular because that wasn't always accepted. So how have you dealt with that in being a woman in leadership and in being a pastor? Like, because that road has, I'm sure, has not been easy for you.
Wow. I can remember an experience when I first came here, and Dr. Smith had asked me to lead a meeting, one of my first meetings here. And I walked in and they were looking for the pastor. They were like, have you seen the pastor? And I was like, it's me. I'm coming in. I'm leading the meeting. And they were like, well, but you're a girl. You know, that's some of the language that I dealt with when I first came. And Dr. Smith, I came and I vented to him. I was like, hey, they think that I'm just a kid, or they're viewing me by, looking at me through the lenses of my gender. What am I going to do? And he said, Jennifer, just be. Mm-hmm. He said, just be. Don't try to fight the gender battle. Don't try to posture yourself or prove to people that you have a right to be at the table. He said, just be who you are. And as they get to know you as a person, your gender will no longer be important. And I'm thankful that he was right. He was right. Just by being my authentic self, loving people, being straightforward with people, following up, calling people back. All of those things established my credibility as a leader, and my gender no longer was an issue. So I just say, if you're in a situation and you're watching where your gender, it creates issues for you, people are misjudging you, the best thing you can do is be yourself, be confident, and they'll change their minds.
I agree with that. I agree 1,000%. In addition to us facing challenges as women, y'all, we also face challenges because of the color of our skin. Ooh. So it's like we have like a double negative against us already when we walk into a room. What are some of the challenges you all have faced in your different fields just for being who you are? Because like Pastor Carter just said, you have to just be, but what challenges do you face at being you? Pastor Carter, you can go first since we're already with you.
Go ahead. First. I'm going to say make Crystal go first. That's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, Crystal.
Make Crystal.
Okay, so the double negative. So the gender thing, of course, first, underestimated always. She can't know. She's the weaker of the two. But also just being me, a Black woman, we always have to be 5 times better. as African Americans, whether men or women. Men have to be 5 times better. Women have to be 5 times better. Plus, we have to show and prove because we're a woman and we're underestimated. So I have gotten discriminated against because of the way I look. You know, it's sad to say, but sometimes the better you look, the less credibility you get, because she can't be cute and smart. She can't dress, it's just it's sad, but it's true. I can recall
that you have done something unethical to get where you are as well.
True, absolutely. I remember one time I was training at one of my stores, and people did not believe I worked there. It was like, you can't work here. And I would be like, but why? And they never had a real answer. They never wanted to come, you too cute, or you can't be the boss. You're a woman. And it's like, no, I'm all of that. I'm the boss, I'm a woman, and I'm cute. Now what?
Come on.
I'm sorry. Like, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, it's really a sad situation. But again, I'm hopeful, and I'm glad that it seems to be getting better, because we've got a lot of bad women doing their thing, and it's getting better for us. I must say. But it hasn't come about easily. We've had to fight to get to the place where we are now. And that's just the reality. But we roll with it.
Absolutely.
Pastor, tell us about some of your challenges as a Black female in your field.
If you are watching for the first time, we want to welcome you again to Hope TV and watching Boss Up tonight. We are so excited that you have joined us, and we need you to share this video on all of your social media platforms so that others can experience these two amazing co-hosts. I think they should come back. What y'all think? I think they should come back. And so
yes.
on the heels of what Crystal shared, I wanted to speak from my time as a scholar, my early years as a scholar, and then also my time as a pastor. When we talk about gender biases or moments when we felt discouraged because of our color as well, so that double jeopardy of being a black person or a person of color, and then also being a woman. I remember I had a professor one time who said that people like you don't get into PhD programs. And so to that, I decided not to internalize it, but I leaned into my tribe. And so that would be my word of wisdom for those who are dealing with the two realities of being an African American and then also female. I would lean into your tribe and those who encourage you, those who build you up. I got a mom and a daddy who mean the world to me, who are constantly encouraging me and pushing me. Got 2 sisters, and they think they're my mom and my daddy. But they are wonderful encouragers and wonderful supporters in my life. And then I want to talk a little bit, pivot to preaching, and what it's been like being a Black female preacher in what is still a male-dominated profession for the most part. I think that what has been the greatest blessing to me is the old adage that your gift will make room for you. I don't know if it was Dr. Teresa Fry Brown or if it was Dr. Courtney Buggs, but I remember I was in a session a couple of months ago where, I think it was Dr. Gina Stewart, who said, preach it anyway and do it afraid. Those are mantras that I carry with me, that as a female pastor, I never wear my feelings on my sleeve, but I pursue this work, afraid sometimes. I pursue this work, even at moments discouraged, but because God called me to it, I know He's going to make room for me.
Yeah, that's great. That is completely awesome. And it's always a challenge, of course, in the Black community. It's also a challenge being a female. But one of the things that I found is that small businesses have challenges as well. And that's like, because you have the big conglomerates like Walmart and things like that coming into communities, taking over. So the little mom and pop shop that you would normally shop at that can't get the same deals and the same vendors as the Walmarts in order to give you the same price, end up going out of business. Have you all come across that or faced that in any of your situations?
I can say yes. A lot of the larger companies have more working capital.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have money for these businesses, and you got to be prepared for it. And whereas we were able to keep going because we were able to do something, we had a long line of business. Uh, what's the wording? I lost my words, y'all. A trail of
Resources.
business. Yes, we resources because of the businesses that we had over time. But with smaller businesses, they do run into those type of situations because you've got to make payroll. You've got to make sure your employees are paid. You have to retain those employees. You have to provide certain benefits. And being a small business, it's not hard. It's not easy always to be able to do that and maintain it. So those are part of the challenges. You have to have all your stuff in order and able to maintain and be around for a while, because it's not easy. And you see people all the time going out of business, especially this pandemic was a true telling story, because you see a lot of places, even some of the larger ones, they left and they're not coming back. Like, that was huge. And that is a telltale sign of, were you ready for this? And 99% of the people were not ready for this. They had no resources to reach back and get to help them maintain and stay afloat. So you've got to make sure you've got all your ducks in order and everything in place if you're going to play in this entrepreneurship game, because being a business owner is not easy. It's worth it, but it's not easy.
If I can say, Lakeisha, on the tail end of what Crystal has shared, I have nothing to add. But what I will say is, because she said it all, being an entrepreneur and a small business owner, I think it's your mindset and your headspace, which is most tested, or which is most on trial. Because you'll have moments where you're thinking that things are going well, and then all of a sudden something shifts, and everything, the sun rises and falls on you. When you have a small business, it's usually just you and 3 or 4 employees. So I think that for me, it's my headspace that I have to manage. You are probably the most difficult person you'll ever have to manage as an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so for me, it's your mental clarity, it's your mental fortitude, it's your headspace, I think, that gets tried the most when you're an entrepreneur or a small business owner.
I agree 100%. In my experience, being that I'm in production, a lot of people, when they're doing productions, they tend to use the same people over and over and over again because they know the work, they know their reputation. So what I have found to be very helpful, especially in my interview or in my industry, would be just networking. Like, the people you know. It's all about who you know. One of our previous guests, Mr. Nick Starr, who has NL Star Productions, is one of my mentors. And if it wasn't for him and his leadership, his guidance, his opportunities that he's provided, I may not even be where I am today as far as in production. And I wouldn't have been able to accomplish and meet and be in the room with the number of people that I have been. So because of that, I feel like networking and camaraderie and working together is like a big key in being a small business. What do you ladies think?
I absolutely agree.
Definitely. And I would say, because we often think that our family and friends, our closest family and friends, are our customers or the people that's going to support us the most. But really, it's not. It's when you network with other people that's outside of your regular circle. Yeah, they help, they can encourage you, but most of the time, those are not the people you can depend on for your business, to support your business. You got to go outside and network and meet other people and meet other friends' friends and get those people on board. And those are the people that are going to support you, because you're going to be building a reputation with those people, not preconceived notions or folks pulling on your coattails that, asking for discounts and hookups. These are folks outside that are going to respect your business for what you build it up to be. And that's how you grow your networking. You're growing through networking because you're attaching yourself to people outside of your immediate circle, and from there it grows, it continues to grow. So networking is definitely an important part of the entrepreneurship piece.
Y'all, that's really how I started my Jennifer Carter brand, or the incorporation part of what I do. It really began with conversations with other people who were doing what I do, and other gifted people in general who said, hey, I believe in what you're doing. I want to support you. How can I do that? And so one happened to be a photographer. So, okay, my first photo shoot happened. One friend happened to be a stylist. These are all people I met at church, at programs, preaching. One happened to be a stylist. So he says, okay, I can help you get your brand together so that you look the way that you need to look for some of these engagements and these opportunities. Because Lakeisha knows this about me. If I could wear snow boots and leggings every day, I would. And so I needed someone who could come and say, okay, well, for this particular event, this is what you need. And so by networking, God was able to send me all the different people that I needed to build my ministry and to build our nonprofit, to the point where now I can find everything I need within our team, within our staff, within our board.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Ladies, I am really enjoying this conversation with you all today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Ladies, I think we should do this again. What y'all think?
Anytime.
Maybe so.
This has been the Boss Up Show. We are the House of Hope Atlanta on Hope TV. And at House of Hope, we believe that life with God is better every way, every day. And for 2021, we are putting God first. So family, will you join us next week? I'm going to bring one of these two wonderful ladies back, or both of them will be back next week as we talk about business acumen, as we talk about business challenges, as we talk real life. And so I hope to see you next week for another episode of Boss Up. Y'all have a great weekend.